Bashers! Good evening, everybody. My name is Dirk. It is Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. This is the iBasher Show, Dirk Weekdays. It's your show. I just host it. How are you all today? Let's see who's in the room and get it started. Guess who's number one? Oh my God, we have a new king. Melly C has relinquished her crown at number one. Congratulations, Melly C, on your incredible ascent to the throne yesterday. I think we're all so proud of you because we love you and you're such a great basher. And Kevin Landon is right behind you at number one today. Fantastic. You'll be getting a song today. Why not? You deserve it. I'm already trying to think of all the things I can put in the lyrics for that. Kevin, congratulations, number one today. Amazing. Greetings to Dirk and all the bashers, because you're a big basher now. I'm a basher, you're a basher. Wouldn't you like to be a basher too? Everybody, thanks so much for coming out yesterday for the, not only just for the iBasher show, but for the after party, the actual birthday party for the big guy, Oshina Malley. A lot of people came into the room. Some people got a little snookered. I was not one of them. It was funny because, every once in a blue moon, the Mookie stream, grabs clips of whomever or whatever. And they had a clip of me and Ush on thing. And it was like last Friday, I had like 3-4 glasses of wine. And I was still tipsy a little bit. It was nothing crazy. And they encapsulated the thing. And I thought it was humorous. Somebody goes, he's schnookered. I was a little bit. But thanks for everybody who showed up. It was a really nice time. He was really chuffed about the whole thing. And, when you're so far away and you can't get together with your friends and your family, it's nice to be able to do this on this incredible thing we have called the intraweb. And I just realized that my Wi-Fi is on my computer, which I don't like. Too many variables. Omit the variables. Ken Furby is in at number 2. Dirk, open the pod bay doors. It's basher time. Hello, everyone. Upvote and subscribe now. It's crucial. Numbers are up. Subscriptions are up. They're going. They're slow. They're going. I'll tell you something funny. Thank you, Ken. You're the best. And well done, Kevin. See what the bashers are? They're so congratulatory about all the other bashers who get in there at number one. It's this crazy little contest that you guys started on your own. I had nothing to do with it, which I think is just so cute and amazing and kind of humbling. Yesterday, I was on YouTube after the fact. I made, what did I make for dinner last night? After the show, I don't remember. Oh, I got pizza. I was going to use leftover pasta that I made. I made this very interesting linguine that my friend Mary used to make for me when I was tending bar at El Rio Grande. She's an amazing cook. This is my old friend who, she's now 90 years old. She was a customer of my restaurant where I worked. It wasn't mine. And she used to come in. We were friends. I went to her house in Portugal in 1999. We were reminiscing about Lisbon today and looking through old photographs. Really amazing. She's a fabulous cook. And she used to come downstairs with this linguine that was made with, and Dana will freak when she hears what's in this because she doesn't like this one element. And it was sauteed onions, garlic, fennel, and raisins with Parmesan cheese, like a real sweet and savory kind of vibe. And it's absolutely delicious. So I had made that the night before, and I was going to repurpose it as a leftover dish. And I decided not to do so. And I said, screw that. I'm going to get some pizza. I got pizza. Anyway, where was the point? Oh, so afterwards, I went online just to, I always like to check up in the Gmail, see what you guys are saying. basherdirk@gmail.com. That is basherdirk@gmail.com. Anything you have to say, I will either repeat. I'll tell everyone. Dirk's going to tell everyone. you send me Gallery of Bastards or nice notes or whatever you send to me. I like to reply to everybody, make sure I get in there. I saw a new watch channel. Let me go find this. And then, it's really, really, really funny. Give me a second. I'm just going to find, I should have brought this up. I forgot I was going to bring this up today. And it is Mary Spender. Does anybody know who Mary Spender is? Now, I know who she is. She is Mary Spender. I hope I can find this. So Mary Spender is a channel that I watch. She's a British musician. She's a singer, songwriter, guitar player. She's really very good. And the way I found her was years and years and years ago. She did a music video, and the song had something to do with Long Island City, where I live. And I was like, what is that about? Turns out she used to live here. And she called, there's a street that doesn't exist here in Long Island City, because New York City went through many different incarnations and, permutations, et cetera, et cetera. And there's a subway stop called Eli Avenue, Eli Avenue. And there is no more Eli Avenue. It's been renamed long ago, but it's still called Eli Avenue. And it's like the last stop in Queens on one of the train lines that goes into the city. Next stop, Manhattan. But in the song, she was like, I'm on 21st and Ely, because it's Ely. So I wrote her back. She wrote me back. I was like, it's Eli Avenue, not Ely Avenue. And she was very pleasant and all that. It was years and years ago. Became a big fan of her channel. She's grown. She has a very big channel, as far as I can tell. Let's see how many Mary Spender. She has got 5,000 subscribers, 624 videos. Now, let me see if she's listed her new. Oh, yeah, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to show you, because I think she's great. And her new, this commercial. Sorry, I apologize for this.
You know me. I'm all about the finer things in life. Beautiful cars, beautiful guitars, beautiful women, and beautiful watches.
Milga.
My accountant recently informed me that I have too much money. And so I thought, just like many other fabulously wealthy elites before me, I'd get into collecting watches. It's time to cast aside the relatable girl next door vibe. Have you ever seen a £1 million watch collection? Feast your eyes on these. I jest. Those of you at all familiar with the watch world will immediately identify that I am talking, to term it politely, absolute nonsense. If you don't know me, my name is Mary Spender. I'm a singer-songwriter, and yes, this is a hobby channel. You can find my main channel linked in the description. There is not a Rolex in sight, not one.
Anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you, because you guys are humans and not just watch robots. And what a delightful show it was. She doesn't know a whole hell of a lot about watches. She kind of gets the whole first watches in space thing not so correct. She's kind of correct and not kind of correct. But anyway, she's a wonderful artist, and she doesn't need my help in any way. And she had 400 views on the show, and I was like, oh, hey Mary, I'm a fan. I don't know if you remember me, blah blah blah. I have this show, it's called Eyebashers. Yeah, I have something to do with the watch community. I have a very small channel, blah blah blah. So I'm like, oh, I can definitely, I'm going to mention you guys, your thing, and it's going to be, blah, blah, blah. She has almost 50,000 views since yesterday. So what the hell does she need me for? She's got a big channel. She's promoting it on her big music channel, and that's good for her. She's 100% her own artist. She writes, produces, publishes, books herself. She's a one-woman band. So I thought it was just really, really super duper funny that she started a watch channel, because I watch her all the time, and all of a sudden she likes timepieces. She's got a lot of Casio, a lot of G-Shock, and a couple of other cute little pieces. She's on her journey, and that's great, great, great. But I just thought, if you're interested in this, and it's called My Watch Collection, Drive Me Wild is the name of the channel. She's already got, okay. She's got already 3,000 subscribers. Yesterday she had like 70. So what the hell am I? Never mind. You don't need my help. I just thought you guys might be interested. Who knew that since yesterday she'd have that? But she's got a big channel. So I guess like when Teddy started his new channel and that exploded and it just happens. It's so funny. Glenn Parker says, I shit you not. She came up on my YouTube favorites today. She's great, man. She's a terrific singer, really interesting songwriter, like real artist. She writes and sings, and it's really, really good. And I love that. Look at this. Melly C says, I was watching Mary Spender today. She loves G-Shock. I love you guys. You guys are the best. She doesn't need our help, but you know what? Everybody needs a little help now and then. And I always think, because she's like I said, she's a one-woman band. If she's going to start a new channel and she's going to get involved in the watch game, who knows? Maybe we could get her on the show one day to have a little chit chat about watches and what drives her wild. That would be really cool, because I think she's great. Mark Sherrod says, my body is human. That's the best line from that movie, by the way. Keanu Reeves, are you human? My body is human. It's fantastic. Anyway, let's see who's in the room. We'll go back to that in a second. Kevin Lind says, Ken Furby, it always helps to be off from work on an eyeBashers day, which is every day but Saturday and Monday. Technically, that might change, though. I'm thinking about doing Metal Mondays, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't have to be about heavy metal. It could be about music Mondays. Thinking about maybe doing a show on Monday. I'm already here for Watch Fashion Police, and that's earlier. Maybe I'll just do a music dedicated show that's just about music, because I've been in it so long, and because you guys all like music, and because I could have so many people come in on the show to maybe make the conversation way more interesting. I could have, singers and guitar players and all kinds of people that I know, and we could talk about all things music industry. And, today I titled the title of the show, The Truth About Taylor Swift and Oasis. And, it's going to have to be said. I did my deep dive. I spent half the night putting together a little thing about what dynamic pricing really is. And then I realized that, wow, it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. But we'll get into that in a minute. Sure. Melly C says, good day, Dirk, and all the bashers. Well done, Kevin. See, that's why I love you guys. Andrew Wolkowicz. Did everybody see his big, handsome mug on the show last night on Sheen's birthday party show? Man, is he handsome. Congratulations, Kevin. Upvote and subscribe. And all the other guys said so. The straight dude said it also. So there you go. Become an inspiration in other lives today and every day. As always, we start out with the Super Chat Gong. See, Andrew, even all the straight dudes can point out a handsome man. Thank you, my fellow bashers. You guys are the best. Franco Fiori, former basher of the day. Happy Hump Day, bashers. Oh, it's Wednesday. Well, we had a big holiday on Monday. And, whenever there's a holiday on Monday, I guess you'd call it a bank holiday in Ireland or the UK or Europe in general. It always pushes me back a day where I think today is Tuesday. And that, to be honest with you, that's why I had the Speedmaster on a minute ago. And then I switched to the Milgauss because I was inspired by Mary Spender. Because she had a little Milgauss. She says she doesn't have one, but whose is that? And it's the original one with, it's not the with the green crystal. It's a glace vert. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's the original one with the orange seconds indices. Very interesting. That watch is pretty too. I like them all. I've been a little obsessed with the white one. I don't know. You know me. I love me some Milgausses, and I love them all. I think they're all beautiful. Farragle's in the room. Hey, I got your video. I downloaded it. I'm gonna play it first when we get to the Gallery of Bastards today. It's so cute. You're right, and I'm so sorry I didn't download it. But when I get videos, it's a little bit of a process because Gmail downloads them, and then they go into this weird file. Anyway, I got it. Thanks for sending me a reminder email. Guys, always remember, sometimes, even though I got the Gmail thing sorted, even though that's happened, if you send something of importance that you really want shared on the show and I didn't get to it, please do me a favor and drop me another line at bastarddirk@gmail.com and I'll make sure that I get it back up there. Things happen. I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made. Maybe. Time flies. Hi, folks. Please give Dirk an upvote. Please do that if you can. That would be much appreciated. It really would. Upvoting really helps. Upvote. For those of you in the United States, it's the thumbs up button. It's this thing. When you go, if you hit subscribe, and they say in America, hit that bell and get your subscriptions and notifications and all that stuff. Man, it's really helped. The algorithm is like, I guess I'm out of YouTube jail. So now that we can actually start the growth of this channel in kind of a natural, unobstructed way, I don't know what was going on there, but since we changed the ownership of the thing, maybe it was just because, Ush's channel is so enormous that it was just giving me, because I'm a secondary thing, cog in the wheel. Could have been. Who knows? Time flies. Number 8 upvoted. Hey, great. Thank you so much, Time flies. Look at that. Looking beautiful. Scotty H in the house. Lord H is here. Number 10. Glen Parker is the place to be. Basher living as you want to see. Land spreading out so far and wide. Give me Glen Parker, or give me that countryside. Dean's here. Hey, new picture. Look at that. Looking very Jesus-like. Jesus pose. Upvoted. Unlucky for some, number 13. Not unlucky here, my friend. And Mr. Perez is here. Cheers, Dirk and everybody. What a handsome fella he is. So many handsome fellas in the Basher verse. Incredible. So great to see you. And look at that with his beautiful shepherd. Dirk has a very, very soft spot for the shepherds. Because I had one. She was a shepherd money dingo mix. Absolutely loved her, and she was the best dog ever. And shepherds are just such great dogs. They are just so great. And look who's here. Louise is in the room. Good evening, Dirk and all the Bashers. Great to see you. Look, she's in the room. She's not only just the partner of a person we all love, but she's an official Basher now. Look at that. Amazing. And hey, Tom Rogers, it's been a while. Hey, you, it's been a while. Wow, where have you been, Tom Rogers, all my life? Great to see you. And Mark Gerard, names I haven't seen in a while. Good afternoon, folks. Great to see you guys in the room. I am so fantastic. And here's my dearest. Hey, Dirkster, Melly Mel, and all the Bashers I know have been MIA. I was going to I took a little nap. I take a little afternoon nap because I'm getting on in years. You know what I made today? I made for lunch, because Paul was home and he's never home at this time. And I made brunch. I made French toast, and I used, here's my little recipe. You could try it tomorrow. Some really great eggs. When I mean really great eggs, I mean not the shite supermarket eggs. I mean the omega-3s. When you crack them, in Europe, you don't have to worry about it because you guys have these. But in America, you crack them open and the yolk is yellow. It's pale yellow. So you get the good ones that you crack them open and they're deep, deep, deep orange. You get those. And I took 6 of those in the thing, and then I use this vanilla bourbon extract, and I do about 3 tablespoons of that in there, salt, pepper, cinnamon, sugar, and mix that all up. And then I take you got to use very nice bread, and the bread you have to use, I hate to say it, is kind of really high quality American bread. I use the Trader Joe's variety because they're big, thick slices and they're perfect. So I put them all in this big Tupperware. I saturated the crap of them, and then I poured the mixture over it, and I closed it, and I refrigerated it for 2 hours. So it gets really thick and juicy, and it's really medium flame, bit of Kerrygold butter in there, and just fry those up. And they were really, really good. And then it made me fall asleep. Because it's carbohydrates, and carbohydrates make you go up, and carbohydrates make you go down. I personally am a carbohydrate food coma person. So if I do not eat carbohydrates, I am full of energy and it's not just that stuff. But carbohydrates make me crash hard. Pasta, bread. I don't eat rice. I mean, rarely, if ever, do I eat rice. I mean, it's so foreign to me. I mean, I like it. It's okay, but I never look for it, and I rarely, if ever, make it. I do like it when I have it, though. But all that stuff just makes me go, is anybody else crash hard? It's got to be a blood sugar thing. My dad had hypoglycemia, which was low blood sugar, so it would spike. I probably have that, but, I would need to go find out, wouldn't I? Mimi, love you, missed you. Give me that countryside. Yes, I done a bottle of wine, 5 cans of Guinness, and out the door at 5 a.m. the next morning for work. Is that what you did last night? You did a bottle of wine and 5 cans of Guinness, and you're out the door. Legend. Dean's always making fun of my Dirk's very, very amateur drinking. If you noticed yesterday, I had 2 select spritzes. And I didn't even make them with Prosecco. I just, over ice, I did select and seltzer, because no thanks. I just wasn't in the mood. Next time I'm in Italy, I'll do that, but not now. Creeps up on you too fast. Ray, who was a big star last night, Sweet 16, to stick the thumbs up button, do it. He was a big star. He came on live. Another big, handsome Westie fella. We got to see him in the flesh. It's so amazing. We never, ever, ever get to see him. He's just an apparition. He's kind of like a phantasma, if you like. Great to see Ray last night. And a lot of crazy stories out of these boys. Dave Fitzsimons. He's kind of become something of a, I'm not going to disclose why, but he's kind of become a conspirator. He's got ideas, and he's cooking, and he's so bashery. This guy's been amazing, Dave. You're fantastic, and he's an incredibly talented person. Incredibly talented. Facilios P. Hi, Dirk. Have a beautiful day. Beautiful Greece. I can't wait to get invited back to Greece to go sing a song. I was there in 2019 in Athens, and I'll be honest with you. Here's this little quick story. Could be part of Music Mondays or Metal Mondays. And it's like, I mean, I know thousands and thousands and thousands of people in the hard rock and heavy metal world, and none of them know about this show, because I'm very funny about keeping my my meat from my potatoes and my vegetables on the plate. I don't know why I'm like that, but I've always been that way. I think this is because I don't want the show to become one thing too many, or become too much of one thing. And that could probably happen, because my alliances and my the amount of people that I know. I was looking for that word, and you could tell it just didn't pop into my head. My level of acquaintance in that world is so enormous, it could flood it and turn it into, what about Manowar? What about Judas Priest? And I don't want it to do that, because life is a variety. And I could talk about that stuff till I'm blue in the face, but you would also fall asleep. It's like when there's too much stuff going on about watches, I start to fall asleep. I love watches. I love metal. I love classical. I love vintage cinema. But I think too much of the same thing could be boring. I know that there are YouTube channels about washcloths. And I know that, you want to hear a great word in Italian? Asciugamani. Towels. Isn't that a weird word? Asciugamani. Interesting. But I just think, I was thinking about that the other day, about, funny thing happened with my group when we finished playing the shows in Europe, and then we put out a new album called Destroy All Humans, Hitman Destroy All Humans. Find it at a record retailer near you, and it was really very, very, very widely well received. People, the reviews were great. People really liked it. The return to form, all this stuff, and then the pandemic happened, and then all these festivals had all these catch up to do, all these things, and we're like, thinking we're going to get invited to all the festivals, and maybe we play Wacken, which is the biggest of the hard rock metal festivals. It's held in Germany every year. It's very prestigious. It's really an honor to get asked to play there. Nothing happened. And I was like, did one of you guys screw one of those promoters' wives or do something bad? Because I don't know what it is we could have possibly done to not get invited. And then I see all these bands, forgive me, that are just I'm like, why are they playing there? You start to get that, and it happens. Oh my God, why does that guy have that many views? It's natural. It's natural to be human. It's natural to be not even competitive, but to just be when you work really hard at something and you see the woman with the clothespins. I do resent her that she's got 186,000 views of her hanging clothespins for a half an hour, and then talking about maybe going to the market. I'm like, oh, brother, bread and butter, what's up with her? But yeah, we were never invited back to Greece, and I don't know why. I want to play there. It was one of the most remarkable trips I've ever been on. I loved every single second of my Grecian adventure, because your country is gorgeous and the people are outstanding. Andrew Wolkowicz says, can you ever go wrong with having pizza? I don't think so. I could eat, if Desert Island, for me, 100% it would be pizza. Like, Oisin doesn't like pizza. He also has a very big issue with carbohydrates, to be fair. He's a steak and a potatoes guy, but he can eat the potatoes. I think it's maybe refined carbohydrates, such as wheats and things that are processed, perhaps. But for me, pizza all day. If I had to give up every single food in the entire world, pizza would certainly be the one that I couldn't, because I love it. I love it. Let's see who else it is. Okay. Then the Mary. Oh, look at this. I watched Mary Spender today as well. She reminds me a little of Vesper Lynn. Isn't that nice? She needs no help from me. But anyway, shout out to you, Mary Spender, because I think your channel and your talent is glorious. And welcome to the watch world. Even though I'm certainly on the periphery of it, you know. I mean, I could get a job at Omega tomorrow if they'd have me. And then I would just bore people to death with stupid stuff. I'd be like, oh, it's the 311 4060. It's nuts. Mimi says, do Metal Mondays or music and we can get you some special guests. Yeah, exactly. I could have some very cool guests on the show. Very, very cool. Metal Shop with Dirk. I don't know how people, maybe I'll do one on Monday and we'll see how it goes. And if you guys like it, we'll continue and make it a series. Who knows? Melly C is like, hey, May. You guys should definitely be bestie girlfriends because you're both fantastic. And Melly, I haven't known you all that long, but I can certainly vouch for me because she's been my friend since the dawn of time. She's technically, well, my oldest friend is Brian Healy, but I don't talk to him that much. And he's from my grammar school, and he's a wonderful, wonderful guy. And he was my best friend. We went to all the Queen Kiss and all that stuff when I was a kid. And I hadn't seen him for years, and he came to both of my parents' funerals. And it made me so emotional that he showed up, so many years later. But Mimi is probably the closest, oldest friend I've had since forever. Mimi says she has several people in mind as I type. I bet you do. And she knows everybody also. Mimi says, everyone in this neck of LA has COVID and say this strain is bad. And it's hot AF, triple goddamn digits this week. Is that right? So sequestered indoors anyway. Oh, brother. It's a spike too. My sister just had in New Jersey. She just had COVID. And it's going around again. And you know what? Listen, I was very dutiful. I got all the vaccines because I'm not a big conspiracy theorist and like, all right, whatever. I have 5 in my arsenal, and I did not get one this year. Maybe I should, right? Maybe I should. I don't know. But the vaccine doesn't, obviously, for everybody. I don't need to tell anybody this. The vaccine doesn't make you not get it. It makes you not get it badly. Adverbs. Mart and Bronson. Hey, Dirk, looking forward to today's show. Upvote, everyone. Bert Dundee's in the room. He says, hello, you beautiful bastards. You beautiful bastards. Dun, dun. Andrew says, full belly sleepy time is a real thing. I like that feeling. Yeah, I like to go to sleep after I've eaten. And Ryan Ray with the €5 super sticker. Let's go with that. Thank you, sweet one. Dirk, Ray's often on Tim's live stream. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care. Who cares? You can. Who cares? Is he really? I'm feeling a little jealous. Ray, are you often on his show? I mean, I don't do the big panelist thing. I find it very hard as a viewer to keep track of conversations on those big, crazy streams. Gets a little, that's why I don't do them. Once in a blue moon. I don't know. I've never really done it. Vasilia says, I'd love to see you back. Thanks, pal. Andrew says, perhaps the problem was someone in Hitman didn't sleep with somebody else's wife. The problem was time to get someone in the band who will give one for the team. I will tell you this, and this truly happened. We played the show. It went down very well. And then afterwards, the promoter asked if he could have a meeting with us. And we were like, oh, okay, cool. It was like a theater, 3,000 people. I don't know what it was. We were, our friends were the headliners. Our friends, Liege Lord, they were the headliners, and we were supporting them. We were it wasn't like that kind of thing. It was just like our shows before them. Anyway, long story short. So we get down, we go to this beautiful Greek cafe, and he tells us about all the things that we did that really annoyed him. And I was like, what did we do? And he said, well, I booked all these hotel rooms for you guys, and some of them weren't used. And so I was the first person to put my hand up, and I said, well, I said when we were working out this deal that I was going to choose my own accommodations, because Dirk likes night. I'm not traveling doing that 14-year-old to 25-year-old band shit. I want to stay in an adult hotel in an adult bed that has adult coffee, that has adult breakfast, that has all that stuff. And I was very vocal, and everybody's like, you want to stay with the band, whatever. So they booked a Fleabag, or it was horrible. People have disagreed with me, but believe me, it was horrible. So they picked this place in Omonia. You know what I was talking about. It's like the shitty part of town. And it was, they stayed there, and I stayed at a place called the what the hell was it? It was the nicest hotel in Athens. Thank you very much, Marriott points. So we stayed there, and he's like, well, you stayed in the Grand Britannia. That's where we stayed. And beautiful place, great breakfast. I invited everybody over. We had tea and drinks after the show. We had the drinks upstairs and breakfast the next morning. And, you know, and they were like, well, we got all these rooms. I said, well, my guitar player, my bass player, and the two guys from the crew, and one room was being used as a last minute practice room for the guys in the band. So like before the show, we all met at that hotel and went over, because we had my friend JS playing drums for us, and he was had just really learned the set. So we're going over last minute things, and we used the room. Everybody was in there. I'm sure somebody used the bathroom or the shower or whatever. And he was telling me, well, it's very expensive for us to come over here, and it's kind of an honor. And I said, listen, we're very, very humbled to be playing here for all these people. It was a really great show last night. Thank you so much. But people took off time from work to do these gigs too, and you're not paying us a fee. You're just you invited us over here to play the show, and you guys are selling tickets and hopefully making a profit off of it, which is great. But like, I'll stay wherever I want. Thank you very much. I didn't ask for you to. I told you not to book those rooms. So and then we kind of like, oh, it was all cool, and then we were never asked back. But I don't know what that was about. But whatever. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Valve says a new vaccine just came out. Oh boy. And Mimi says, I've never had COVID. I realize I jinx myself each time I say so. So maybe you probably have had COVID. You just didn't know it, because a lot of people have had it and don't know it. Still annoyed that the unmentionable illness ruined our plans. I know that was it. I was on my way. Nathaniel was taking me to a premiere. I won't say who it is, because then you'll have an idea of what he does. But it was a movie premiere, and I was very excited. And on the way to go meet him, I wasn't feeling good. I actually went to go see Dana O'Malley was in town, and I couldn't see her because she was in a hotel and she was locked up. And I had to drop some stuff off to her, and I wound up getting COVID. And then he got COVID too. We all got COVID, and it was absolutely insane. Anyway, so thank you, Nathaniel. I owe you a big bang boom for that. So the whole Oasis and thing it's very fresh news for everybody, and a lot of people are very butthurt about it. Our beautiful Dino, he's very upset about it, because he's a real fan. And I read a lot of stuff about it last night, and it got to the point where I realized that it's much bigger than we actually had anything in mind about. We didn't really realize that dynamic pricing it's everywhere. It's not just Oasis. It's everything. So bear with me. I have this little thing. I typed it all out, and it's about dynamic pricing, concert tickets, and the ethical considerations that go around it. It's like dynamic pricing has become such a popular strategy in various industries where demand fluctuations signify over short periods of time. This practice allows all businesses to adjust prices based on market conditions. Sound familiar, watch fans? Consumer behavior and demand spikes, optimizing revenue, ensuring that the products or services are priced accordingly to current conditions. However, in certain contexts, like concert tickets, dynamic pricing has drawn criticism for its impact on consumer access and fairness, because people take it personally. That's the problem with concert tickets. Like we could examine the roles of Taylor Swift and Oasis in shaping this conversation, especially with Oasis' recent use of dynamic pricing. And they still haven't admitted to it, though Ticketmaster has. And finally, we could compare dynamic pricing to price gouging, which is what everybody's kind of calling this now, and the practices that we see in the gray market every single day. We could also highlight artists who have chosen to deny dynamic pricing to maintain more accessible prices for their fans. And it's just something that is so pervasive in our everyday life, and we just don't realize it. And the next time you call Uber, think about what I said. Dynamic pricing is employed in so many industries where demand fluctuates rapidly. Rush hour, dusk, dawn, midnight, drinking on Friday nights. It's the most common industries that use dynamic pricing because they can make the most amount of profit in a short amount of time. Airlines, flight prices adjust in real time. We've been talking about this forever. There was a thing that went on in the 1980s with deregulation, and that kind of opened up a whole can of worms for airline pricing. And then dynamic pricing was probably the first place I ever saw it. Seat availability, times of departure. Airlines use sophisticated algorithms now to optimize ticket prices and sales and maximize the revenue, not just for the airline, but for the intermediate software companies and people that use it. It's crazy. Hotels, they dynamically use and adjust rates based on factors like occupancy level, seasonality, competition, local events. Venice Film Festival, for example, we often stay at the Excelsior on the Lido, and sometimes we pay $245 for a ticket for a very nice room in a very beautiful hotel. And you know what? Tickets right now for that hotel are $1,500, $2,000 for the exact same room. Room rates rise during peak seasons or when large events are hosted in an area and fall during low demand. The second that festival is over, they're done, and the prices will go back to normal. Online, e-commerce, retailers such as Amazon, they adjust their prices every single day. I wear the same sneakers every day. I'll show you what I wear. Okay. These are the sneakers I wear. They're very simple. I forget what they're called. They're these Skechers they're very comfortable. And when I'm walking around town, I've had 500 pairs of these things. Every time I go online, they cost a completely different price. Now, they were originally bought for me as a gift, and then I started buying them on my own. I've probably bought 10 pairs of these over the last couple of years. They go anywhere from I've seen them as low as $54 and $120. It all depends on supply and demand. And that's what e-commerce is. Prices can fluctuate multiple times a day to stay competitive and capture consumer interest. Now, here's a big one. And you know what? You know it. I know it. We all know it. Ride sharing. Uber and Lyft implement surge pricing when the fares happen during the increases happen during high demand. Like I said, people getting out of work, Sunday church, when people are getting out of work, when it's time to go out for cocktails, rush hour, large public events, the president's in town, or some kind of leaders. The Pope comes to your village. Every single you order an Uber or a Lyft or whatever the ride share company is in your neck of the woods, and the next thing you know, and I've done this. I go on my Uber and I go, oh my God, to get to my parents' house. When I was going there during the pandemic to help my sister out, sometimes it'd be $108 and then it'd be $18 depending on the time of day, and it's disgusting. And this is because technically it's not price gouging, and we'll get to the point of that soon. Sports and entertainment ticket platforms like Ticketmaster employ dynamic pricing for all the high demand events. Joe Schmo and the Blows are playing down at the club down in Brooklyn, and their tickets are $18.99. Their tickets are not going anywhere. Nobody's going, except if Joe Blow and the Schmoes, or Joe Schmo and the Blows, all of a sudden show up in a beer commercial. And all of a sudden, oh my God, that guy's cute. Then it could blow up, right? They adjust the prices based on how quickly tickets are selling, Oasis. For popular events like concerts or sports games, prices may increase significantly, as much as every 6 seconds. Now, concert tickets. Dynamic pricing has become widely used but controversial practice in the concert industry, and that's platforms like Ticketmaster and StubHub, which is a whole other ball of wax, offer the artist the option to use dynamic pricing. Basically, when you sign up to have Ticketmaster sell your tickets, you're given a piece of paper or a digital thing to sign, and there's a box there, and it says dynamic pricing, and you go clunk like that. It's all based on whether or not the artist is willing to put their reputation, because of the publicly perceived connotations of greed that happens. This approach claims to capture the maximum willingness for people to pay from consumers, but it can lead to rapid price increases and fan backlash. And it all kind of started in 2022 with Taylor Swift's Eras Tour, because she became a key example of how dynamic pricing creates backlashes. When her tickets went on sale, overwhelming, and it was insane, it was all stadiums and all that stuff, overwhelming demand caused prices to surge outrageously, with some tickets reaching prices far beyond their initial price. Now, I think that they were listed at $186, $286, $386, but they were online selling for $1,500, $2,500, $3,000 on. This is not secondary. This is not the gray market. Swift, while she was benefiting from the increased revenue, she had to acknowledge her fans' concerns after the fact, because she was now dissatisfied with the system because she got called out on it. She would have been fine with it if nobody said boo diddly about it. But, Taylor is an amazing spin doctress. She knows how to make herself look good. And there are people in this country, the United States of America, because she's not using dynamic pricing in her worldwide tours, because of the grief she got. And also probably because I would imagine that overseeing the legislation in Europe and other jurisdictions would probably take this a little bit more seriously. In the United States, everybody kind of passes the buck, and lobbyists. We have all these people who are getting paid for whatever. People are making money off of her doing that. The result was she had to have a public conversation about how dynamic pricing, while lucrative, may hinder fair access to her fans. There were families on the news who had taken second mortgages out on their homes so that their daughters could go see their hero, Taylor Swift. Now, everybody's favorite boys that are in the news, Oasis. They've been known historically for resisting ticket prices and inflation in the past, but they recently opted to use dynamic pricing for their Live 25, though they have yet to make that statement, and Ticketmaster has officially said that they did. So this marks a significant shift in their approach to ticket prices. Previously, Oasis had maintained fixed ticket prices, ensuring that their shows were accessible to their fan base, who they claimed to care about. Their decision was to embrace dynamic pricing this time, and it reflects the industry's increasing acceptance of a model to maximize revenue. And it often leads to the same fan frustrations that Taylor Swift had. And now we're getting this big backlash. The UK is talking about, starting some kind of laws, but it all comes down to, how did you not learn your lesson after the biggest artist in the world is Taylor Swift? It's not Oasis. Maybe they're up there now. Who knows? Let's see how they do in the rest of the world. But her stadium tour was so enormous, and we saw the backlash. We saw it. And she looks good now, because now her and Ed Sheeran are going, rah, rah, rah. We hate dynamic pricing. We don't want anybody to do that. We're against it. But you guys did make that money previously. You just didn't like getting called out on it. And that's exactly what happened. I think any reasonable person likes to make money. And I see both sides of the coin. I do, because say you work for AT&T or Apple or Microsoft, and you have a really hard job, and you do a great job, and you really feel like you should make more money, and you finally get a raise. Your friends are all like, high five. Finally, though, you get to get paid what you're worth. Get paid what you're worth. Well, Taylor Swift and Oasis are, with dynamic pricing, getting paid what they're worth. Truly, the public has spoken. They're willing to pay. As long as people are willing to pay exorbitant upcharges, then it will continue. If they stop doing it, it'll disappear. Now, there's a lot of artists out there who used to adopt dynamic pricing to maximize their earnings, and others who have rejected it. And they're in favor of keeping their concerts affordable and accessing a broader audience, and making sure that the real true fans get to see them. Now, Bruce is one of them, Bruce Springsteen. He did a tour that had dynamic pricing, and this was before everybody caught on to it, and he immediately didn't like it. He's known for his commitment to his fan base. Springsteen has long resisted dynamic pricing since the first time he encountered it, ensuring that his tickets are sold at a fixed price. Now, he has no control over scalpers and StubHub and all that crap. But despite the popularity of his shows, Springsteen has expressed concern that surge pricing can alienate the most loyal fans of any artist, and artists should be aware of this. Now, Ed Sheeran, as I covered before, he's been very vocal about his opposition to dynamic pricing. During his tours, he's implemented measures to prevent. This is after the fact because he did used to use it. But listen, hey, better late than never. If both Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran are coming to the table, it's time for the boys in Oasis to do so too. Now, Pearl Jam needs no introduction to anybody. They have always resisted it. They have gone to head-to-head with Ticketmaster in the 90s over high ticket prices, and they continue to work to keep their concert tickets affordable for fans. They always choose to not participate in dynamic pricing and are very vocal about a fixed price model for their shows. Now, Robert Smith from The Cure might be the absolute gem of all gems because he has been the most vocal to criticize dynamic pricing, and he's made efforts to prevent high ticket prices for their big, and they did a big 2023 tour. They're very much beloved in the States. All you Brits out there, I don't know if you know this, but people love that. They can play any arena in America, and he fought so hard to stop the surging ticket costs, stating that concert pricing should prioritize fans' access over tickets that are profit for maximization. He just he doesn't think it's worth it alienating them in the end. Now, we all talk about how dynamic pricing, this new term that we are all learning how to taste and form opinions about, how it's so much like price gouging. But technically, dynamic pricing and price gouging can seem similar, especially when prices surge unexpectedly. However, the two practices differ fundamentally in both their context and their intent. Dynamic pricing is a technically legitimate business strategy that reflects changes in supply and demand. Now, we all know the price of sugar, the price of eggs, and all that stuff. Prices rise when demand spikes, and they also drop when demand is low, allowing businesses to manage inventory and maximize profits while providing consumers with some flexibility. And we all get it. Now, price gouging is a totally different thing. Price gouging, on the other hand, it occurs during emergencies or crises. And my friend Mimi will tell you all about that because she works for the Red Cross. And typically applies to essential goods. In these situations, consumers have no choice but to pay inflated prices for food and water and fuel. These are necessities. Price gouging takes advantage of vulnerable consumers. Many countries have laws against price gouging as it's widely considered unethical. Now, we take concerts personally, like they're gouging us, but in truth, and I'm looking at this as pragmatically as a person can, they are a luxury good. They're a Rolex. They're a Louis Vuitton bag. It's a luxury to go see a concert. Didn't used to be, but it is. And then there's the gray watch market. Dynamic pricing shares characteristics with the gray market for luxury watches, though they're different in a lot of ways. Gray market watch dealers sell authentic luxury watches through an unauthorized channel. These watches are priced basically on scarcity, demand, often leading to price increases, but mostly for like Rolex or, Patek Philippe or something like that. The models, when the white Omega Speedmaster came out, or Snoopy, or any of those things. So scarcity and demand, both dynamic pricing and the gray market reflect pricing influenced by scarcity and demand in the gray market. Watches are sold at higher prices because they're difficult and hard to find, and somebody's going to make a profit off of it. How they got them to begin with, I don't know. Back channels, it's very creepy. Maybe just the people that were on the list for the longest time sold them really quick to the gray market, but that's really weird. But there's also a transparency problem. Dynamic pricing is considered transparent because it's in the contract. If you read the fine print, none of us do, they talk about what it is, and also the artists have signed off on it. Like, consumers know that they're purchasing, or should know that they're purchasing, legitimate goods and services, even if the prices fluctuate. The gray market operates outside of authorized channels, so you could be buying a Franken watch, a whole different kind of things. It's really a screwy thing, but what it comes down to is supply and demand. Are concerts a luxury item? And if you're going to pay that kind of money and you're going to go to that show, and I put the poll up there and we'll have a look at it and see what it says. But what really happened with that at the end of the day? Most of these shows, or these big shows you go to now, Taylor Swift, 60% of that is on tape. Pearl Jam, none of it is on tape. Oasis, that I'm sure nothing will be on tape. But you go to see Madonna or any of these big arena shows, these stadium shows, it's all piped in stuff. Their costs are a lot lower now. They've streamlined the way artists tour. Back in the day, no one used to make money off of a road show. They'd spend so much money on the show, but they were able to make money off of their records, which nobody buys anymore. So both models, the gray market and dynamic pricing, capitalize on scarcity and demand. And the gray market operates in an ambiguous space, while dynamic pricing is recognized and regulated in such a way that it falls within legal parameters. And that's the bitter pill to swallow. So dynamic pricing is widely used across many industries, from airlines and hotels and e-commerce and concert tickets. It allows businesses to adjust prices in real time to maximize the revenue for all the goodies and manage supply and demand at the same time. In concert sales, dynamic pricing has been proven to be controversial. So now we're all getting butthurt. Artists like Taylor Swift and Oasis are using the models to capture additional revenue, but facing backlash from fans frustrated by soaring prices, which leaves a bad taste in their mouth and probably makes them never want to go see that band again. But then you got Bruce and Ed Sheeran and Pearl Jam and The Cure. They've all rejected it. And you can add Taylor Swift to the list. She learned her lesson. She's not going to do it anymore. Doesn't look like anybody with any kind of, you're going to sell the tickets. Looks to me, you're just going to look bad if you do. Dynamic pricing is different from price gouging. We know this now, as it reflects what's considered legitimate, whereas price gouging is food, water, gas, emergencies, earthquakes, tornadoes, people in need. If you need water to survive, you're going to pay any amount of money for it altogether. So ultimately, while dynamic pricing can drive up profitability, it raises questions about fairness, particularly in industries like concert tickets, where fans' experiences and access are considered essential considerations. Maybe not to everybody, but to some. And that's my story. So, you know what? They knew all about it, the Oasis boys. At the end of the day, Taylor Swift was out there. She told the tale. She told the story. We all know how it backfired on her. It was all over the news. They absolutely didn't have to go that route. They knew the tickets were going to sell. But also, the other side of me says, well, and I've thought about this for a while, and I'm not even an Oasis fan. You guys know that. When those tickets go on sale, it's going to be gangbusters. I knew that whenever they got back together, it was going to be probably, if anybody was going to get back together, it should be them, because it would be enormous, and everybody, they're still young enough. They're put on a good show. Liam can still sing and Noel can still play and all that stuff. It would be great. I just never thought in a million years that they would do it, because I just think it's really shitty. I personally think it's really shitty. But if you look at the facts, and I did all that fact searching last night, basically everybody does it. Every time you get in an Uber, every time you get on a plane, you're always looking. Oftentimes, and I tried to get to this point before, but I was too busy talking to myself. When I was going to my parents, I would go to Uber. Ooh, that's too expensive. Ooh, Lyft. Ooh, that's too expensive. Ooh, and then I'd wait 5 minutes and the price would completely change. And that's dynamic pricing. It's gross. It's absolutely gross. And there's a lot of mentions here. Let's see. Let's get back to the chats and some more fun stuff. Oh, better than that. Let's get right to the Gallery of Bastards. Screw that. It's time for the Gallery of Bastards. The Gallery of Bastards. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The Gallery of Bastards. You share them with me, and I share with the world. Here's a cute video for you. I'm gonna turn the volume up in my room so you can hear this. It's hilarious.
What? Woo! Maybe we could sit in our den and watch the bugs. Claire is really good at bug watching. Fly.
Watch the ears.
Are you missing a fly? Of course not. Well, maybe just a bit.
Oh my God. The things we go through for the cats, that was absolutely unbelievable, man. Thank you so much for that. And thanks for resending the email so I could make sure I had it in there. Saki's video. That's from Fergal. Amazing. Yeah, I hope you can download the video, he said, and I certainly was able to do so. That's great. Okay, look at this. Oh, Mimi's got a rescue cat. Let's get into it. This is Vasilios with an Ionian view. My favorite part of the show, guys, to see what you have to share. Enough about me rambling on about expensive stuff. So you know what, when we want to buy a Rolex, or we want to buy an Omega or Patek or Vacheron or whatever, AP, think of Taylor Swift and think of Oasis in the same kind of thing, because that's how those guys are positioning themselves. Taylor Swift is trying to not do that, and I think Oasis will do the same. They're probably going to, for the next round, I guarantee you they're not going to do it. And if they do it, then F them. Look at this beautiful. Pink Sky at Night is a sailor's delight. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Ionian sky. I had such good weather when I was in Greece. Oh, man. Here's Glenn Parker with my Rosie. My Rosie. Rosie on her bed, having a big stretch. How cute are you, darling? Oh, my God. Let's blow that up. That's over. I love how all cats do that to block out the sunlight. Oh, my God. That looks like a very comfy bed. Oh, look at you, you angel. Rosie. Thanks, buddy. Oh, that's amazing. Guys, get your picks in at basherdurk@gmail.com. That is basherdurk@gmail.com. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the show. It's your show. I just host it. You know what? Listen, we all love the kitties, but, you might have something we don't know about. Absolutely. Oh, yeah, this was from last night. This was John talking about the watch that he's considering, the Omega Racing. And there it is on his wrist. Looks great. Ooh, you know what? I was watching an interview with Tom Selleck. Everybody remember Tom Selleck? One of the sickest, most handsome guys ever. And I walked past him on Madison Avenue about 15 years ago. Man, is he tall. And he had a big leather trench coat on. He was smoking a big cigar. I didn't see his watch, but I saw his watch today. He was being interviewed by Ted Danson, whom we all love. And beautiful watch, John. I say, get it. That thing's less than $3,000 on the chrono. And it's beautiful, man. I love it. It looks so good on you, too. How did I miss that? Okay, here we go. Steve McLeod. Oh, yeah. He said, hey, Dirk, do you like this one? And I said, you know what? I almost got this watch so many times. I saw it on chrono because this was made for the Japanese market. Look at it. It's got an orange chronograph hand. I mean, you can't not love that. I love this watch. I've always loved it. And you know what? I'm going to put that on my wish list. Japanese market only. And I've seen this before. It's funny. Years ago, I love it. Look how great it looks on you. Oh, man. Perfect. And very interesting bands. You got it with a very interesting. Look at that. It's like Omega's version of the Jubilee, but with like extra Jubilees. Amazing. And I love it. So Tom Selleck, he was wearing a Daytona on this interview. And it looked like he was wearing a 34 millimeter Lady Datejust. It was so teeny tiny on that giant man's wrist. It looked crazy. I was like, oh, man, he's got it. And then I sent it to Emmett and Nasheen and was like, get that man a Panerai. I was like, you are right, sir. Absolutely. Okay, what do we got next? Oh, yeah, Raymond, Julian sent me some news about Brian May from Queens, Sir Brian Harold May. He's recovering from a stroke, mini stroke. He seems to be fine, like he had a TIA, I guess it is. But my God, oh, Brian May, not you, not any. We love you, Brian May. We love you, Brian May. He said he's able to play, but last week he had a mini stroke and he was unable to. His whole left side went out. That's scary shit. We're getting older, man. And stay strong, Brian. We love you. And same to you, Julian. So you did send me some pictures. Yeah, okay, they're in there. I just want to make sure because I know you did. But we've got Mr. Brown. You've got a lovely daughter. And we've got a Seiko quartz. Look at that beautiful dial. It's like sandblast. What is that? There's a word for that and in fashion, and I'm trying to remember what it was called. Worsted. That's what that looks like. That's a cool looking watch. Recessed crown. Oh, look at that. Love me some Seiko. Oh, Bronson. It's like a big bowl of poof. What a beauty. She's a beauty, one in a million girl, one in a million girl. Thank you so much, Marison. Here's some stuff from Julian, some more of his beautiful art. His photography that he turns into art. Let me get my banner off the screen. You guys know how to get a hold of me. Look at this. That's by the way, that's a self-portrait because I happen to know that that's the man himself. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. You know, it all reminds me of the cinematography from the movie The Fountainhead, starring Patricia Neal and Gary Cooper, a story by well-known author, controversial Ayn Rand. Oh, look at that. Ooh, that is very interesting. Julian, always amazing. Wow. Look at that guy even looking at us. So yesterday I was walking down Vernon Boulevard, which is the main drag in my neighborhood, and I was looking at everybody down on their phones coming from the subway. I was thinking about, man, I should have been a chiropractor because everyone's going to need some kind of work. Look at this comfy chair. That looks like a comfy chair. Is that outside, like for the trash? Did somebody put it out? Looks that way, doesn't it? Is it on the pavement? But it looks like a comfy chair. Or was a well-loved chair. That's cool. How did you do that? And there, self-portraiture. Beautiful. Oh, what a great shot. Looking great. Thank you so much, Monsieur. Feel better, my friend. He's still getting better every day, but some challenges ahead for him. And that's, we wish him the best. Because, he's a basher. Andrew and the girls. And Senor probably somewhere. Look at you, baby. Oh. Cuddly time. Oh, there he is. Oh, she's so pretty. Pretty calico lady. Superstars all. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much. Glenn Parker. Oh, here's their other girl, Cleo. Have we not met Cleo yet? We have not. Oh, man, look at that. Incredible shot of her. Look at you, you beautiful lady. Oh, pretty girl. Welcome to the Bashers, Cleo. Great to see you. Thank you, buddy. Melly C. She had a visit. Oh, all right. This is not fair when you do this. I think Mindy just knows how to pose better than most cats. I mean, stop it. Stop it. So funny. Oh, who's that? Oh, she says we had a visitor today. Does she have a beau, a suitor, coming to try to woo her affections? Oh boy, he looks like a big old tomcat, and I'd keep our little girl away from him. Oh boy, she is nonplussed by it all. Oh boy, yeah, keep Tom away from our girl. I'm sure that you will. But my goodness gracious, Melly C. Oh, shit. Let me read this email first. Check out, here it is. Check out our little orange rescue kitty and see how sweet he is. Oh, honey. Is there a video in here? Let me see if I can pull this off. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Let's see. Oh, I can. All right, I found it out. So when you send me videos now, I can do it, guys. There is I installed this third-party program. This is a rescue that Mimi's a big-time cat person. You guys. Oh, he's affectionate, honey pie. Oh my god, he's so cute. Let's get the big shot of him too. She sent me a still photograph. Oh, what a darling, honey. Oh, look at you, big beautiful baby. Yeah, they got him. They had him fixed and chipped and all that stuff. Because it never ends, does it? And she lives in a particular part of Los Angeles that is very rural, I guess, but they have mountain lions and all kinds of nasty stuff. So the kitty's out on the street, like things can go the wrong way for them. Here's Mr. Dundee back with some very, very cool art with his deep sea, his sea dweller on top of, what is this? Some kind of beer, huh? Look at that thing. Oh, man. That's what Tom Selleck should have been wearing today. He shouldn't have been wearing a Daytona. Daytonas are for ladies now. Sorry, guys, but Daytonas are officially the watch of ladies because the ladies took them. And yeah, they're kind of dainty. Amazing, man. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Okay. Who is this from? Oh, from Scotty Love. They call him Scotty Love. This is beautiful, man. What do we got going on here? Oh, it's a rainbow. Look at that. Dude, your lens on your camera is dirty. Look at that. Look at that rainbow. Everybody make a wish. I say we make a wish that Julian doesn't have to go through any more convalescence and gets well fast. That's my wish for today. On Scotty Loves Rainbow. Thank you, Scotty Love. Because I get the daily updates, and it's just not fair. It's just not fair. And from Neil, oh, look at this. I have a cool picture of me and Dana O'Malley at this exact spot in Paris. Look at that. What's going on there? At the Arc de Triomphe. I'll never forget, we got off the plane, we checked into our hotel, which was like a half a block away, and we walked up the stairs, not realizing there was an elevator. And man, when I got to the top, I felt like I was going to throw up. I love Paris in the springtime. I love Paris in the rain. I do. That's the gallery. The gallery of masters. Send me the shots, the sublime, the absurd. The gallery of masters. You share them with me, and I share with the world. Thank you all so much. You all know that when you want to send something to the Gallery of Bastards or anything you need to say to me, ideas, what you'd like out of the show, what you don't like about the show, it's basharddirk@gmail.com. That's basharddirk@gmail.com. Just send me a note and I will be happy to respondez-vous to you. So I know I missed a lot of chats while I was talking about the stuff. I want to get in there so I can talk about whatever you were talking about. Andrew says, Mimi, I've never had COVID. I only took one shot to keep my job. Yeah, well, a lot of people had to do that, Did I see that movie? Then Nathaniel, I finally did. I watched it at home when it finally became available. Dean says that Andrew, me too. I never had COVID. It's because of the amount of alcohol in our bodies. It dilutes the COVID. Oshin got it badly 3 times. Badly. And I think he could drink you guys under the table, personally. Mimi says, interesting in Andrew Wolkowicz. My husband even had it 2 times, living under the same roof at the same time, sat on a long flight and drank from the same water the day before I got it. Maybe you just can't get it, Just a heads up, no sound on the super chats. No sound on the super chats. Can I do a test here? Are you getting this? The gallery of masters. Send me the shots. Are you getting the sound on that? Should I do a little setting here to make sure that there's not something weird here on the sound audio? Hey. That all looks right. Is there sound? Was there not sound on that? Oh, you did get that. Okay. I don't know. Every once in a while, this thing, they just completely answered a bunch of things that we wanted from them. And they gave us some ability to stream in 4K, which we haven't done yet. Because I don't know if my thing won't explode. But, who knows? John Doe, buck, £1.99. Oasis advertising today, day on Las Vegas Sphere. Oh no! Oh, at the Las Vegas. I thought you were saying that they were going to be at the Las Vegas Sphere. Oh my God, that would be horrific. Did you see that one? Yeah, I think he just meant meme. I think he just meant that they were advertising there. I don't think it's big enough for them. They need to play stadiums only, right? John Doe says, Dean, I don't mind having to go. You never know. Someone has to get the tickets. They have announced 2 more shows for London earlier today. They need to do it with that. But they really, truly, if they have any kind of respect for their fans, they really need to yank the dynamic pricing out of there. It really has to go. There's no reason. Listen, like I said earlier, Microsoft's paying you. Good on you. You got a raise. Blah, blah. But this is like different. It's different. That would be like me demanding super chats or saying I don't accept. Like, I've seen shows where you can't give somebody a $1.99 or a $5 super chat. You can only do that show that Michaela did, that grotesque show where those 2 Neanderthal dickless wonders, those guys, they have a minimum of what you can super chat to them. Like, they won't accept $5. That's just not fair. I mean, it's just not right. I just think, listen, they're making a lot of money. can we all just figure it out? And also, it's true for the airlines and hotels. Like I said, I stayed at the Grand Britannia for $239 with points and stuff. There's ways around it as well. But there's no point system for Taylor Swift or Oasis or Ed Sheeran. You can't, use your American. So you can use American Express to get maybe on a line earlier or a special way to get through to them. But, it's just nonsense. It's just not fair, Yeah, and John Doe, I think that I think you misunderstood. I think he meant that they were advertising for the shows. Who knows? Everybody's enjoying those. Julian needs to do a show in a gallery. I agree, and sell prints. You heard it first from Andrew Wolkowicz, sir. Mimi says that touring is very taxing and expensive. Residencies at the Sphere is perfect. So much easier on the older lads and ladies. I agree. It's great. Select this. Oh, Tom Selleck, the water stealer. Oh, I don't think I know what that means. Did he steal water from somebody? Who knows? Mimi goes to a lot of shows. She just attended 4 different shows there in the last 2 months. It's amazing. Totally different experience each time in different sections. Sure. Hey, it's Roar of the Tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Hey, Dirk, the dial on that Seiko is normally referred to as an asphalt dial. That's why I love you guys. Asphalt dial. Isn't that cool? And I love that word, asphalt. And we know somebody who's in that business. I'm not going to say who. John Doe. Yes, Mimi. It's like Celine Dion lived nearby and you just turn up to work each evening. It's funny. Wait a second. Andrew says that Tom Selleck was accused of stealing water. It was determined that he had trucks bring it in from out of state. Stealing water for what? For his farm that he's got up there in California? Wow. Melly C says, oh, his name is Rufus and he lives on my street. He's a very sweet boy. That's the one that's trying to court our beautiful Mindy. All right. As long as he's a good boy. I don't like the fact that your neighbors let him out. It looks like a street there. I worry for our little Rufus now that I know he's a good fella. Andrew loves watching the gallery because the gallery of Beshes is what makes this show tick because it's all about you. Don't like the guy. He hawks reverse. Yes. Okay. So you know what? Tom Selleck, he has a reputation for being one of the nicest people in the business. However, he does hawk reverse mortgages, which is a ripoff of the elderly mostly, not just the poor people. Like an old lady or an old couple that have a house and they need a little bit of dough. Maybe they want to go visit their grandchildren. They just don't have the money or the kids don't have the money or whatever. They might consider taking out a reverse mortgage. And at the end of that reverse mortgage, the bank now owns your house. So it's a very, very, very bad thing. And it's not cool. He's also a very big NRA guy. And I think that if you want to just go by, I'm not going to get political at the end of my show. I'm not against people owning a gun. I think you should be able to protect the people you love and your family. I think you should be able to. And it's legal. You should be able to. I don't, however, think any person outside of the armed forces needs any kind of assault rifle. It's not necessary. All it does is make kids bring them to school and shoot other kids. Could be yours. And then you'd change your mind. Everybody would. But Tom Selleck is was he like the chair of the NRA at one point? It's just those people are everybody's too extreme. It's like, you know what? I think it's very cool if a lady has a gun by her bedside and some guy climbs in her window looking to do something not so nice and she shoots him. I have no problem with that. She should defend her and her kids and her family. I don't have a problem with that. I don't. I think you should be able to, it's better than getting killed or raped or whatever. And it is written into the law of the land. It's just that people have an interpretation of the law of the land, which is, machine guns, which is bullshit. It's nonsense. Anyway, yeah, you're right. I know. I have a soft spot for him because he's so handsome. Dave Fitzsimon says everything's coming in loud and clear. Maybe it was just a hiccup on the Western Front earlier on. Andrew will go to 5 Canadian balloons. Test for gong. Upvote and subscribe. Become a Patreon if you can. If you can, it's great. If you can, it's can. You can. Who cares? Listen, it's just I'm so grateful to show up here every day and talk to you, beautiful people. And we can talk about stuff. We can not talk. Oh, I just hosted, as they say. Sounds are all back. I don't know. It's the StreamYard issue, or could just be YouTubing. Sounds are all back. Thank you so much. Timex is coming out with an automatic GMT made in titanium. But have you seen the GMT Pepsi? It's so beautiful. Carolyn Martin, the girl with the wrench, hate when work gets in between my basher time. OBJ, what does that mean there? Objects? Carolyn Martin with the big 20 balloons. Let's give her a big, huge super chat. Mart says, thank you, Carolyn, so much. Noel is more concerned about his Man City football team than his fans. Listen, it's very difficult when you try to portray yourselves as never forgetting where you came from. The two scrubs from Manchester who have been extremely rich for an extremely long period of time. They have become used to private jets, the best hotels and the best in drink and the best in food and the best of that stuff. They have to remember that their fans are not used to that. Their fans don't fly private. Their fans do not eat caviar and drink the finest, 1947, Cheval Blanc. They don't do it, but Noel and Liam do. They buy the best, fags in the world, cigarettes, kids. They buy the best of the best. They've been so rich for so long. Of course they forgot who they are, and while it is legal what they're doing, it's just not cool. It's just not cool when you're supposed to be the everyman, and it's just not. Mimi says, having worked at their record label, Dirk, through Oasis sells a lot more concert tickets historically in Europe than it did in the US. Oh, I know that for sure, but they were still very popular here. Nowhere near as big as that. I mean, the crap that's going on there. His California ranch, yeah. He lives not far from the O'Malleys. Like, it's actually like the next town over. Melly C says that Rufus likes to visit all the ladies in the street. I bet he does. Scott Elove says that Tom Selleck is a Tiger. So, well, he's originally from Detroit and he moved to California when he was a kid, John Doe. America knew about World War II in Europe, but couldn't feel it for the first few years. That's like an Oasis announcement over the last week. Europe is ablaze in Oasis glory. Yeah, right. They were big here, though, but not like big, the Beatles big. They were big like, John, I don't know if you know this. A lot of people don't know that, Robbie Williams is completely unknown in the United States. No one knows who he is. Take that, never sold any records here. And, Robbie Williams, I think, is technically the biggest selling solo artist in British history. And regardless of whether you like him or dislike him, he's enormous. Stadiums all over the world, except for the USA, where he could go to a supermarket and curlers and a kerchief and no one would blink twice at him. He never got famous. Oasis were about as big as, they were not like Bon Jovi big. They were not like Def Leppard big. They had hits and they played, they never got that big. So who knows what it's going to happen here. I'm sure that they'll play. Do you think that they could play stadiums in the United States? Maybe they can't. Maybe they can. And the United States has such, even the people that, like, nostalgia's big. The Scorpions can still sell at Madison Square Garden. And they haven't had a hit song since Here I Am, Rock You Like a Hurricane. I don't know. It's an interesting question. I'm glad for you guys. I think it's good for rock and roll. Roy the Tiger says, having spent time in Vietnam in the Army, I'm okay with guns, but owners should be required to have safety training. Yeah, I'm okay with guns too, but Aurora the Tiger, do you think they should have assault weapons? Do you think they should have magazines that they could just mow down everybody? I would never understand why anybody would think that any like civilian should have that kind of a weapon. That's especially trained for guys like you, for professionals. Put those in the hands of the professionals, Kevin Landon, number one basher of the day. Thanks to everyone for your kind words. Well, because you deserve it, buddy. Andrew Olkowicz, used to be ads in magazines, ladies. Don't negotiate with the burglar. This picture was taken. The picture was as a Victorian lady pointed a pistol at a guy in a mask coming through the window. I think it was for Smith & Wesson. Yeah, listen. Remember when girls used to pull out like a little Beretta in their purse? Kind of cute and kind of sexy. It's funny stuff. It's gotten to the point where it's just that whole thing is just ridiculous. No one should be able to. No kid. What about the person that sold that crazy kid, that assault rifle? Like, what went on in those people might kill themselves later. They might commit suicide when they find out that 10 kids are dead because of it. It's crazy. Hiteshi, you're so late. It's the end of the show. We're all good, but we're happy to see you. You know, that's why I'm saying if they're teasing North American tour dates, Sphere would be not far-fetched. Oh, that might be right. Yeah. I know it's not a big venue, the Sphere. I mean, U2, listen, you know what a U2 fan I am. I love them. I've seen them so many times. I love them. But like they are now officially a legacy act because they're never going to have another hit record. And I hope that they do. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that kind of music is possible to come back. That would be great. Oh, look, it's me. And look, that's a picture of me and Mimi in her thing. Oh my God. I look like I'm in, oh, Jesus Christ. I look like I'm in like a Gene Loves Jezebel or something. That's crazy. Or as Ray just says, who cares? Who cares? You know what? Oasis are going to do what they want to do. What do we all think that we should do? What do we think, Bashers? What do we think? We think that we buy tickets on airplanes all the time and we're like, fuck, I can't believe how expensive this is. And we get in a taxi cab, I can't believe how expensive this is. But you do it and you pay for it in the hotel. Oh, it's high season. It's this hotel because it's the second like Oasis tickets go into Taylor Swift, we're all like taking it personally. And the only reason why is because Uber never said that they came from the streets. Uber never said that they were men of the people. You know, they're a corporation. You don't think of the artist, Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, any of those groups. You don't think of them as corporations. You think of them as the bands and artists that you love. And you think, or you would hope, that they respect you. And if they did, now this is all pragmatism out the door here. And if they really did respect you, they would see that box that said dynamic pricing and they wouldn't check it. And that's all I have to say. Guys, that's the show. Thanks so much for joining me on this Wednesday. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be with you every single day. And there's Andrew with another. I'll keep it going for Hitesh. We could talk for another 5 minutes. Thanks so much. Super chat gone for you. You know, when it comes down to the dynamic pricing thing, you just hope that you would hope in your heart of hearts that your favorite artist would respect you enough to know that you have to take off 3 days from work to get to that city. You got to go by train or pay for the gas, or you've got to fly in and pay for a hotel. They have to know that's going to take a big chunk out of your financial world while they are making an exorbitant amount of money and flying private and staying at the Ritz-Carlton or the Four Seasons, or insert your favorite hotel thing here. They are doing all these amazing things. They have to have the respect to let you know that you're worth it to them. That's the reason why they do it. Because without you, they are nothing. Without the fans, the artists are nothing. If everybody just decided, oh, I hate that Taylor Swift, screw her, and decided to not go to any more of her shows, then there would be no more Taylor Swift. She'd be playing at the Bluebird in Nashville and no one would care. Oasis would go back into their dark dungeons and start arguing with each other. They're probably still fighting. They're probably not getting along, but they realized that, man, we're going to make a lot of money. They're going to make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars off of this. And I'm not saying that they're being greedy bastards, but they're greedy bastards, the two of them. And like, who's even in the band? Is Jam in the band? Who's in the band? I don't know. Did they pick who's in the band? Do you know, Dean? I don't know. It's just not fair. But listen, dynamic pricing is in everything we do. When you pick up a tomato in the store, that's being dynamically priced for you. It's supply and demand, you know? It's just unbelievable. Angelo says, no pick, but check out the email I sent. Okay, I'll bite. Where is it? Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Can I read this out loud? Dirk, as you know, I worked with Roy Thomason at Massey Hall. That's that beautiful hall in Toronto. Until later in 2005. They adopted dynamic pricing in 2003, and over the rest of the time I worked there, I was not a fan. I heard a lot of complaints from patrons. As one of the few department managers who actually dealt directly with the patrons and tried to put that information forward to management to little avail. Not the reason I eventually left, but it was part of me coming to understand that the end was near for me. It leaves a very bad taste in my mouth. I certainly understand that it's not illegal, but I've never understood how a big disconnect there is between between the music industry and the patrons of their product. Artists are often the least aware of what goes on the business side of their work and how much money and how much they actually owe to their fans. Witness the issues and attitude I ran into with some artists about autograph sessions. I've never had any dispute with an artist making a fair return on their labors, but the fans are key and they should be treated properly too. My sentiments exactly, beautiful Angela. You couldn't be more correct. Isn't it true? Mimi says, Dirk, this pic is your album photo. It's on one of my records. Oh, is it on the back of Vivis Machina? Oh, it might very well be. I don't know. It's my new album photo. It should be. If I ever got around to making an album. Dean says, I don't care anymore. See, I hate that because I know you're a fan. I know you're a fan. And I want you to go see that band. And I want them to respect you, Dean. I want those Gallagher brothers, the Gallagher guys, as you say in England, to respect you more, to know that you're worth it. So here's a message to Liam and to Noel Gallagher. Give my man Dean some tickets, because you know what? That's bollocks. That you guys, you were playing the working man's club, having a jar. No, you're not. You're sipping Cristal in a tower, and you're making money off a lot of people who really respect you. Show them the respect that they've shown you. That's all I have to say. Guys, remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And remember, if you encounter unkindness, Gallagher's, you can't always know what those people are going through. They could be having a really super duper bad day, but give them enough rope, because if you give people enough rope, it'll be just enough for them to hang themselves, because they're either the greatest person in the whole wide world or else they're a